Hi, this is Phil Spencer, and you're listening to the Inner Circle Podcast. For the fans, by the fans.
Thank you for landing on Planet Xbox. You are now rocking with the Inner Circle, the official podcast of the coming soon ICXM.net. And this is your podcast for fans by fans. So salute to you, the mighty, mighty X units. I'm your host, KORXKL, and with Bmuny and Unified, together we are the Inner Circle. Today we continue to try to introduce the Xbox team members who have helped Phil Spencer turn the Xbox One around to become one of the must-have consoles of this generation. The TIC team will be speaking with Mr. Aaron Greenberg, Global Director of First and Third Party Marketing for Games. As you listen, you'll discover that he's actually had a wider role within the division than just games. And if you can ride it out to the end, you'll discover TIC's plans to build the ultimate home and destination for Xbox One gamers and Microsoft tech fans, all coming soon. And without further ado, here is our show. First, thank you, Aaron, for giving us the opportunity to talk with you and continue to introduce the members of the Xbox team who are instrumental in its success. You're always, one of the few execs that fans reach out to and get a response on or some things answered. I think having guys like you, Phil, Mike Yabrera, Eric Newstater, and at one point, Albert Pernello, and even Major has really helped with the perception of Xbox and Microsoft, giving it a face and assuring fans they are being listened to. So tell us about how you got started at Microsoft and your approach when it comes to marketing games for the platform.
Sure. Well, first I'd say that, it's an awesome opportunity for us to be able to engage directly with our fans. When I started working on Xbox back in 2000, there was no Twitter, there was no tool. We had to go to events or to midnight madness, things. And, we had to actually, it was hard to be able to interact with our fans. So the fact that I could jump on Twitter and feel like I'm frankly sitting in my living room with, a few friends that want to just ask questions and talk about Xbox or talk about games or whatever, it's a pretty, awesome privilege. And so I'm always happy to make time and I try to do it around, around work and other things, but it's been great. And our community is just fantastic. I mean, the ideas we get, the feedback we get, they call us on our BS. They, always are coming up with new ideas. And so it's just great to have such an engaged fan base that's really passionate. And I'd say by and large, a group of really class act folks. I mean, I truly do love our community. So it's an honor for me.
The fan base is very passionate, obviously. 360 for us was I guess you could say it was an amazing system for its time. It really changed the game on what it meant to be a console gamer. The multimedia functions, the adding of the apps and everything. You knew you had a loyal fan base when you could survive a tech nightmare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fan base was still loyal and they still stuck with you guys. I think that we really appreciate the hard work that you guys have done and literally changing the perception of the console. And we know it's a marathon, not a sprint, but we really appreciate all the work that you guys are trying to do to make it the best platform out there to compete with the other two platforms that are very good in their own right.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think we are more of the slow and steady wins the race kind of guys. I think we're very focused on a long-term vision, focused on innovation and having great games. And, I think if it's very hard to launch a new console. And we've always been very ambitious about what we wanted to achieve. And in the Xbox 360 era, we pioneered a lot of pretty exciting things, building Xbox Live into the system, basically relaunching the entire platform, with the new Xbox experience through software.
Right.
We were the first, I think we were one of the first ever Netflix streaming devices to ever deliver Netflix to the TV, and people remember back then you could only really watch Netflix on a PC, right? So it was fun to be able to innovate and do a lot of those things and continue to build on great games, both internally with our partners. And, I think you're seeing the same from us with Xbox One. You look at our holiday lineup this last year. We had great big blockbuster third-party titles from our partners, like EA and Activision and Ubisoft, et cetera. But at the same time, we delivered a number of big, AAA
awesome
exclusives.
titles. Sunset, Forza Horizon,
Yep.
Halo,
D4?
Master Chief. Yeah, D4 was a solid title.
Exactly.
They were all good titles. For whatever the complications of Halo Master Chief Collection is, you still had the campaign, which looked amazing. Especially for the update, it looked incredible. It's really good.
I agree.
And I think Microsoft had a great holiday season. I think the fans proved that it had a great holiday season with the sales, and I think we all look forward to the future and what's coming out. Mike, you have anything?
Yeah, Aaron.
Anything you want to add?
Well, Aaron, just keep launching those new consoles because I'm going to keep buying them. All right. I'm gonna keep being there on day one to buy the system, man.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. I assume you're referring to also like limited edition things and stuff like that.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Getting to design hardware and do those types of things are pretty special. And we love we really do love being part of this business. All the folks I work with are all gamers and people with a lot of passion, and we obsess about every detail and care a lot about the feedback we get. And I think it shows in the hardware products we make. I think it shows in how we market our products and, and the quality of the games. And I think we've been committed to bringing the best, we think, the best games lineup anywhere. And we're going to continue to do that. And we do that a lot through our exclusive titles like Horizon and Sunset and Halo this past holiday. And I think this year coming up, you'll see, what arguably be one of the biggest holiday lineups we've ever had in the history of our business. And, some of the titles that are coming, there's definitely more. We haven't announced, but
Please.
Even here we are in February, and already, this holiday we will have exclusively on Xbox One, Tomb Raider, Forza Motorsport 6. We'll have Fable Legends, console exclusive. That's also going to be on the PC, which we're excited about. And let's see, I'm blanking on what else am I put? Halo 5, Guardians, of course. So. Those are just a few, and it doesn't include any of the other big third-party titles or any other surprises that we have internally. But I think it's going to be a great, great holiday for gamers, and I think we're confident we're going to deliver high-quality games again this year.
Hopefully we do get a couple limited edition boxes out there. Big fan of the Halo edition and the Gears edition. So hopefully we see something like that with Halo 5 and whatever the next Gears game is. And I love, what Microsoft is doing. They always roll out new IPs around the holiday season. So hopefully, we see something new in the holiday season that'll catch us by surprise and build a new franchise for us. So hopes are high.
Yeah, we've been focused on both. We're continuing to invest in the big blockbuster franchises. Obviously, we have IP. We're now driving the majority of sales in the racing genre with the Forza franchise that we've been able to annualize. Halo continues to be, obviously a massive IP. Gears is another IP, we've acquired. So, but obviously been the home to Gears. So, but at the same time, we've been, there's been new IP, right? So you can see what we've done with Sunset. We're obviously really excited about things like Quantum Break and Scalebound. Thank you.
Scalebound.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say, hey, like right now, here we are in H2, or sorry, we call it our fiscal H2, but in the first half of the calendar year, and we've got some fun games coming out. I mean, we're really excited about Scream Ride. We just put that demo out. We're getting a lot of good response. It's a great game.
Ori
has been a media darling, one of my absolute favorite titles. And we even have the State of Decay.
The Year One edition.
The Year of Survival edition, I think is what it's called. Yes, which includes all the DLC and everything, and it's all remade and up-resed for Xbox One, which is pretty exciting. So we've got some good spring titles, in addition to all the things that our partners are putting out as well.
Aaron, I think one of the biggest things we've all noticed this generation when compared to last generation is that the Xbox division hasn't been as big on advertising games using large budgets. I remember Halo 3 had a marketing budget of like 500 million, and it seems like it's now more like 500,000. Has Microsoft decided to change it by using smaller budgets and viral campaigns instead? And also, who came up with the Destiny Cologne and Rocky montage videos?
Okay, good question. So, well, overall, I wouldn't say the budgets and dollar size have changed that much dramatically.
Okay.
While I won't, we don't typically disclose the size of our marketing budgets on different campaigns.
Sure.
I can tell you that there's probably been no video game that's ever had a $500 million marketing budget. They may seem like it when you're watching the TV ads, but it's I mean, the mix has changed. So the way that we market, the type of assets that we can use, the way that we can engage people, a lot of what we do, we have different segments of fans. We have more of our core fans that really pay attention to the stuff that we put out directly, whether it's through our own channels, whether it's on Xbox Wire or on our dashboard or at a gaming event, or if we go to, a PAX event or at E3. But a lot more stream consumers don't pay attention to that. So we have to find ways to reach them, and, to reach those broader consumers costs more money. And generally you do go to TV to do that. And we do really big TV campaigns. We had big TV campaigns for Sunset, for Halo, and for Forza this holiday.
Right.
I've actually noticed the Evolve one you guys got too.
Yep. And we're working with 2K on that campaign. And so, so we're continuing. I wouldn't say those have changed much at all. I think what's changed is that, we now have the ability to interact with our fans in a whole different way, where it's more of a two-way conversation. And so rather than just putting out a TV ad, that used to be kind of it. You'd run a print ad in the game magazines, and you'd put a TV ad on TV, and you'd go to E3, and that was sort of it.
Right.
And now, we have so many different ways to engage people. We can do Twitch streams. We can, we have people, all of our developers have Twitter accounts, and we go to tons of gaming shows, and people engage with us directly. And so, there's just we use YouTube as a medium for sure. We do digital campaigns. I don't know if you guys saw like what we did with Sunset, where they actually recreated the whole world, in
a live action. That was
awesome. A live action piece.
Yeah, I remember that.
We kind of do fun stuff like that, and we can blow stuff up, and so we kind of it's kind of the medium, and how the creativity can expand to a lot more than just a 30 or 60 second piece campaign. With that said, those still matter a lot. We still do obviously spend a lot of money there as well to drive awareness, and ideally drive purchase intent for those titles. But a big title, like Halo, will have multiple beats in that campaign, and
obviously,
yeah. And then your question was on
the Destiny Cologne and the Rocky montage.
Rocky montage.
Okay, so I had nothing to do with the Destiny Cologne.
Okay,
sorry to disappoint you.
No, it's fine.
But Destiny's a title that we're all big. It's a great game. So I think Bungie's made a terrific game, and we know that they have a partnership with Sony on that title. And so that limits the capabilities of how what we can and cannot do around that title. I will tell you, if you look at the NPD data, Destiny has actually sold more units on Xbox One, and so we're kind of proud that our fans and our fan base has bought a lot of copies. Destiny sold very well for both platforms, but it's nice to see how well it's doing on Xbox. That was something that was done by our UK team, and frankly wasn't really done with proper permission. So
really, man, because I love. Oh man, I'm wearing it right now. I rock that stuff out, man.
Yeah. And then the Rocky ad, we have a creative team. We have a Marcom creative team that produces most of those pieces, and we work closely with them. And they showed us a lot of different cuts of that. We were involved in that process. I thought it was a great piece, really showcasing, a lot of our best games. And we really felt like we had a very credible claim that we had the best games on Xbox One, and it was just a great speech, and we were able to put it together in a way that really worked. We also did a similar piece with Billy Bob Thornton as well that ran And that was also done by our creative teams. And I thought they did a great work with both of them. We're really lucky. I mean, frankly, we go and we sit down with those teams and we kind of have a creative brief and we kind of go through the strategy and we work back and forth with them. But I think they do some of the very, very, very best work in this industry. And it's a lot of the same people that have been there over the years that did Mad World for Gears or did Starry Night for Halo and, have done these kind of iconic video game creative ad pieces. I thought the Horizon, Forza Horizon piece was one of my favorite ads this holiday. A lot of the same group of people that have worked on that. So we're lucky to have that continuity and some of those creative geniuses working on our products.
Yeah, I think what it is that for some of the fans, they were just concerned about how D4 was marketed. They were concerned about how Killer Instinct has been marketed. And I know we spoke to Ken about it, and he has told us about the way you market things on the dashboard and how it's reached people in a different space. But I think people really want to see those games that deserve to really expand and probably deserves to be marketed properly, because these games are titles that you normally wouldn't see on Xbox. They just were concerned about why those things didn't get the face time of other games. And I think that's where the questions come from. Is Microsoft marketing the same like they did on 360 compared to now?
Yeah, I would say we are. I think the thing that's interesting is that we actually look at how we market and the most effective uses. The most effective way that we can actually market our titles is through our owned and earned channels. So using our dashboard, using Xbox.com, using email, our CRM, whether it's newsletters or dedicated mailings on titles, those actually generate the most activity. And so for a lot of those titles, for most titles, larger titles, that's really where we focus our efforts, in addition to everything we do on the PR side with previews and reviews and anything we do on the social side or digital side as well. Only a few titles get really, really big TV campaigns. And I think if you look at Nintendo or Sony, you'll see the same. They launch a lot of digital games, and we launch a lot of ID games or indie games, and the scale, the audience for those games tend to be more core gamers, and we can reach them directly through, they're pretty engaged through our own channels, whether it's Major Nelson or whatever other channels we have. So it make a lot of sense to spend a lot of money on those titles to go after a more mainstream buyer, like it does with a Madden or with a title like Forza. That's kind of the titles that will sell in the multi-millions of units.
Gotcha.
I pick your bets of where do you spin big, and then what are the titles. And then, hey, we have titles that we expect to be really big that don't always live up to expectations, and we have smaller titles that surprise us and end up being huge hits. And so, it's a hit-driven business, and frankly, everything we do and all of our expectations, we don't know until we put them out there and customers respond. And so we always try to react to that, and it's great to see. We get to play them too, so we're like, man, I love this game. I hope people are going to see what I see in them. And, I got to spend some time with D4 before it came out, and our team went to Tokyo Game Show and worked really closely with the folks there on releasing that, and and it was great to see people react to it. It was a great game, but it's a different type of game, right? So it's there's more broad mainstream games, and there's titles that appeal to more of our core fans, and we want to be able to have both those types of games and invest in them appropriately.
Right. Any questions, guys? No.
No.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay, good on that.
Okay, Aaron, we know all the megatons and big news that's going to go down at E3, and we also know you can't really say anything. But we keep hearing about surprises and the unexpected things coming this year for the Xbox One platform. Will we get multiple games from Rare this year? And have they partnered with Twisted Pixel for a joint project? Because we saw some tweets a couple months ago that between you and Rare and Twisted and some things like that. And when can we expect the first major surprise? Before or after E3? And are Epic and Microsoft working together again on a new exclusive IP?
Holy cow! That was like the multiple questions in one question. So I'm going to try to go through that and make sure I get it all right. So, so first it was, if I get this right, can you tell us all the big surprises for E3 right now in February?
No, that wasn't it.
And then it was, how many rare games are we getting this year? And then I think it was, is Twisted Pixel and who working on a project together?
And Rare working on a project together.
Okay. So first, like, I'll start with E3. And I'll say, hey, like, we love E3, and it's a fantastic time for us to get to engage with our fans, and we save a lot of big news for E3, and we think our fans want that.
Right.
And so, we always debate, how much do you want to reveal before E3, and how much do you really want to create this, like, special moment in time? It's like, it's the Super Bowl of gaming, right? And we all tune in and we watch, and a lot of people go, and it's just like, and it's just sort of an amazing game fest, and it's one of the biggest beats of the year for us. And so we're thinking about E3 that way, just like we do every year. Expect a lot of surprises. Expect us to talk a lot about games. And if you're an Xbox owner, I think you're going to leave really, really, really happy in the investment you made. And if you're undecided, we hope that you will look at what we've delivered on games and want to buy an Xbox. And so, I think we'll have we're already, working, and my team's actually driving a lot of the work there in close partnership with our other internal teams, and we feel really good about E3 this year. We have some ideas to do some things different at E3 this year that we haven't done before.
Okay.
I'll wait until we're ready to fully share that, but I think we're going to take a little bit of a different approach to E3 this year.
Okay.
But I feel really good about it. It's been really exciting, and I think frankly, we have a great management team as well, as you think about, like, Phil Spencer and the rest of our, but starting with Phil in particular, he's been a great partner and a great supporter, and he's been, a lot of folks kind of just like to do the same thing every year, and we want to take whatever we've done before and step it up multiple steps up, and so that's our aspiration. And I think you'll see that hopefully from us this year, and I think you'll see we love our fans, so how can we engage our fans in ways and share what we're doing at E3 with them?
Right.
E3 is an industry show that's mostly primarily for media, and we love engaging the media, and those guys have been good to us too, but how can we also engage with fans? And so I think we're going to do some interesting things there. On the Rare side, I just was out in Twycross, which is pretty far out of London. If you haven't been there, I'll tell you, take a very long train ride into the country, but it's beautiful. It's just like really, really beautiful place, and it's just amazing to kind of walk around and see original sketch art, for whether it's Banjo, or to see, I took a picture of Kudo and with Conquer, and we're huge fan. We're like huge fanboys, and we grew up loving those games, and whether it was Battletoads or Jetpack or any of those titles kind of over the years. And so it's just fun to kind of go like to the birthplace of this, like, birthplace of so much creativity and so many hits that we grew up with as kids. And so we haven't announced what Rare is working on. But our team works closely with them, and it's going through the process of, sort of preparing to unveil their next things.
Right.
But they have multiple projects in development, and we feel really good about them.
Okay, that's good.
And then Twisted Pixel is not working on a game with any other internal studios, so that I can kind of answer. Josh and Michael down there in Austin. Actually, some of our team is flying down there. I'm not going to be able to make it, but after this trip, we do this process. We go and meet with our studios. We do these gate reviews, and we go through certain processes of development and review a lot of stuff as the games are getting built. And they're heading off to Austin to go meet with them. Unfortunately, I have to be back at home base for some critical meetings, but Kudo and some of the other folks are going down there. A couple people from my team, and they have an exciting project they're working on as well, and very unexpected, very different, and we'll just wait to surprise people with what it is.
Before you answer the next question, with Twisted Pixel, is this their first AA, AAA project? Because I heard that this is a step up from what they usually do.
Oh, God, I mean, I don't know. I just think of a game as a game as a game. So I try not to be like this game is a small game, this game's a medium game, this game's a big game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they've made a lot of great games that I've worked on over the years, and so I think they're doing something different, but I wouldn't classify it by size. I just think it's different and innovative, and you know, I think, you know, when people, you know, that have a great track record of making really original, really unique games, and then they go off and want to do something new and original and unique and different, you kind of get excited about that. And so I would put it in that category. You know, and these things take a path. You know, sometimes you scope things to be medium and they end up big. Sometimes you scope them to be big and you go, actually, you know what, I think it's better as a medium-sized thing.
Right.
But, you know, I'm excited about what they're working on.
Okay. And of course, Epic and Microsoft. The only reason why I brought this up is because of the simple fact that there's not much news from Epic, but as the creators of Unreal Engine 4 and the news that DX12 and Unreal work pretty much perfectly together, I would figure that the masters of this platform would be making a game for the platform that it's being developed for. I mean, PC, obviously, of course, mainly, but also the Xbox One. So that's why I'm asking, are they working on a project for Xbox One?
We work really closely with Epic, primarily on Unreal 4, and so they, you know, on the engine side, on the tech side specifically, you know, we were able to purchase the Gears IP from them. You may know they had a pretty large investment from Tencent. I think they bought almost half of the company, and I think Tencent has been more PC, you know, focused than console focused with them. So I can't comment on what they're doing, projects they may have in the works or not have in the works, but they've been a good partner for us on the engine side, and we are building you know, a number of games based on their technology that we're building for Xbox One. And the fact that they were focused there and we were able to take the Gears IP and bring it in-house has been a pretty exciting opportunity for us as well.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. It would have been awesome. Or it would be great if they did something with that Samaritan demo that they showcased.
Those guys do great demos. I mean,
after I saw it, I'm like, I want this as a game. I want this as a game.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they've been a great partner of ours, and a lot of the folks that we've worked with over the years are still there. And so some, you know, have moved on. You know, Cliffy B's got his boss keywords, and it's been fun following him, and he's a good guy and a good friend, and we're excited to have Rod Ferguson up at Black Tusk, you know, leading the kind of the future of the Gears franchise. And so, yeah, I think, you know, it's how the business grows. People create hits and have success, and you know, then they, you know, everyone sort of decides what they want to do with it. And so we just feel really fortunate that we're able to take Gears and bring it in-house and do some exciting things for the future.
Cool. Well, you know, fans very quickly, obviously, just want reassurance that, you know, we heard the news about Darkside being shut down, and they were working on Phantom Dust. Obviously, we had Ken on last month, and he was talking about that platform, about that game, excuse me. But we just want to make sure that the game is still in development and that everything is on track the way it's supposed to be.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, Phantom Dust is continuing development, and we are fully committed to the project. I wouldn't take any of the news. You know, you do sometimes make changes during the development process, but in this case, you know, we're absolutely not canceling the game. We're not walking away from the project. We are fully committed to the title. And, you know, I think you heard, I mean, I listened to your show you had with Ken on, and you kind of heard his passion about it. And, you know, I know Phil also is really excited about it. And it's one of the projects that he's been pretty personally involved in. And so if fans are wanting that, expecting that, interested in that, they should have no doubt that the development continues, and we care a lot about that project. And so, you know, rest assured that you will see Phantom Dust on Xbox One in the future.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Anybody have any questions?
Nah, not a question, but just throwing this out there. I talked to Phil about this before, but at E3 when Rare hits the stage, just have a little small montage of all the old games, and then just the new IP that they're working on. That's all I have.
That'd be cool. just to reminisce, just show Rare making his rise back.
Yeah, show where they were and where they're going.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things I said. I've tweeted you a few times that, guys always talk about, the Xbox platform has the best games, which in our opinion is true, and that is future proof. But I think the one thing that can't be ignored is that the Xbox platform is an evolving platform. It's an evolving beast, and every time you think that it can't get better, it does. And they just keep adding features and updates and games and technology to it. It just makes it seem like it's literally a transformer in your home, and it's really, really dope. It's a really amazing system, and I think that you guys should capitalize on that marketing wise. Like, it's an evolving machine.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine balance because we don't do it for the marketing. I mean, we do it because that's the way that we believe in the platform. A lot of people build a device, piece of hardware, not even talking about games, but they build a piece of hardware and they're that's it. It doesn't change. But we truly believe that we have the opportunity to innovate and add new features, and we've been doing that in our monthly updates. And, we have a tool to be able to listen to the feedback and see what people are voting for and asking for. And that's definitely influencing what we're doing. And we're going to pretty relentlessly innovating. And you can expect us to continue to invest in Xbox Live, as the premium online network, continuing to see us invest with more apps, more capabilities. People ask for screenshots. You saw that come through in the preview. We've just been month after month delivering what's been high on people's lists, and we're going to continue to do that. The team has a long list of things that they're still working on as well. And hey, it's for the fans. We're not using it as a marketing tool. And you're right, we're probably not beating the drum as much on that as we could, but hopefully people that buy an Xbox realize it gets better every month, and a year from now the product that they had is going to be substantially better. And that's kind of our commitment, is to continue to innovate and continue to make it better.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Aaron. Last year Microsoft had some leaks about the plans you guys have for the White Console as well as Master Chief Collection. Even though what was reported changed slightly, most of what was leak turned out to be true. How do game leaks affect your job when big news in the open? Does it make it harder, easier, a little bit of both? And can you explain or give an example of developing a good marketing strategy to combat the competition?
Okay, you guys got good questions. So, leaks are something that is just sort of happens in technology, right? I mean, iPhones leak, and new TV models leak, and games leak,
right?
And, so we it's just the nature of the business. It happens. We don't plan for it. It's usually unexpected. Also, with the internet and with so many people trying to guess what you're doing or speculate on what you're doing, quite often a good amount of the things that appear as leaks either are not true at all, or are a lot of the information is wrong, but some of it might be right. And then you're right. Then there's like stuff that's just 100% right. And so it's out of our control. I mean, you just got to, we don't get too distracted by it. Our general philosophy is we don't comment on any of them,
Right.
And so just sort of whether it's, the many, many things that aren't right, or things that, wow, they really got almost all of it wrong, but they did get something right, or things that are 100% on, we just don't comment. And we generally tend to like to unveil things the way that we plan to, and we usually build assets, or we have an event, or we want to be able to kind of explain the product or show a demo for the product. And, we just don't think that it really kind of romances. And, for our fans, it's not really the right way that we generally want to unveil and share things. And so we tend to kind of stick to our plans on that. There are rare cases where, hey, things leak and we're like, okay, great. We'll just pull all the covers off and share it. But, and we've seen other companies do that too, but that's more of an exception. Right. It's just the nature of it. And, we're always monitoring and watching, and I often get emails as soon as things happen, or I see it on my Twitter feed. And so, it keeps us on our toes. It's just, it's the nature of the beast, and it's definitely not going to change or go away. And, we try to keep things confidential. Most of it, we don't have people leaking inside our business, which is that would be different. But we understand.
That would be very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
I mean, hey, we're family, right? And we really do. The people who work here, we think of as like family, and
Right.
people here care a lot about what they work on. And, we don't want to share things before they're ready. And you think about visual quality of games or special things that we're working on to really kind of delight our fans. We want to have that moment to reveal it. And I think our fans want that too.
Definitely.
It's so lackluster to see a bad screenshot of something and try to speculate what it is versus seeing the first time you ever saw that Gears 2 demo or, that moment, right? And so we want to make those moments magical for our fans. And, we realize along the way, sometimes stuff does slip out.
Right.
Yeah, you just want to make sure everything's quality before you reveal the game or whatever it may be. So
and we have a lot of things in place to keep that stuff confidential, and we obviously work with a lot of third-party partners on their assets as well, and we have a good reputation the same for keeping all that stuff confidential. I think by and large we do a very good job, but exceptions happen, and it's not just us, it happens to everyone in the space. And so I don't, beyond that, we don't really have a unique strategy that there's no silver bullet for it. Gotcha. And then you asked about a good marketing strategy to combat we don't build our marketing strategies focused on the competition. We really look at, what are the type of products that we're building and where we're going. And our focus is on having, it's pretty simple. I mean, one, we want to have the best games. And I think, if you look at, we've had and continue to build on having the best games anywhere, and we think we'll continue to be the home to the biggest exclusive titles. And if you look at what we're delivering this holiday, I think we have a pretty credible claim that we have the biggest exclusive titles anywhere, plus all of the big blockbuster titles from our partners that are we know are on other systems as well.
Right.
Xbox Live, we continue to invest in Xbox Live. That's really the premium online gaming service. Your gamer tag, your gamer score, your achievements, all these things are unique to that service. All your friends are there. And so you'll continue to really invest to make that service better each and every month, and doing a lot of innovation there as well. Not just in gaming, but, you look at some of the stuff we're doing with entertainment apps, or you look at some of the things that we're doing with streaming TV. And the Sling offering is an exclusive offering we have on the console space, which I think is also interesting for folks in the U.S.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for ways to add more value and make better value for our customers. And then, a great box with great games at a great price. And so, we have a great value story there as well. And I think you've seen that service pretty well this past holiday. We saw record growth in our business. And, in the U.S., we moved to the number one position both in November and December, thanks to support. And so that's been fantastic. And, overall, we're seeing good growth even January, which is a pretty our business grew 22%, over the previous January. And so, we're seeing good, strong sales, even in a slower month. But in the big months, they were really big. And so we're grateful for that.
Right. Well, that's awesome to hear. It's good to know that. I mean, in the console space, last year, the units that were moved were really good. It was really hot. You guys capitalized on Black Friday, I think, in an excellent way. The release of the white console moved, I believe it should have moved a lot of units. I know it sold out a lot. But we think that, color-wise and color scheme-wise, that a lot can be done with the Xbox. I mean, I like the Call of Duty style one because it had more than just the color. But I would love to see a all-red Xbox for Gears when it drops. A Gears bundle with an all-red Xbox with a red controller and black outlining would be so dope. Even in the space where it's you might have other titles, like if you did Tomb Raider, which is a big title, I think you guys should probably capitalize on as well. That would be really cool to have a custom Tomb Raider console, and I would say Tomb Raider and probably Halo. Those two this year. I think those would probably be the two you want to capitalize on with a custom console.
What about Star Wars, man? I thought the Star Wars one they had last gen was pretty sweet.
Yeah, with the Go controller and the R2D2. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope.
Custom sounds. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
That was
nice.
cool. Yeah,
really
team
cool.
did a great job with that. No, we have a great team that does a lot of cool custom consoles, and we'd love to make them for every title. And the challenge is that our retail partners can't take every one. We can't manufacture 12 different versions, so we have to kind of pick our bets. But I know some of the things we're planning for this holiday. I think you'll be pretty pleased with some of the limited edition plans, and there's some other things that we're still finalizing. But we have a lot of great games, and so I'm excited to see where we land. And we haven't really, at this point, it's February, so we're not announcing our limited edition hardware at this point. But the team's working on some good stuff. So
right,
and it's good to hear there's an appetite for more.
Yeah, it's good to hear that there's even just mention of there being limited edition hardware. We know that there's a big limited edition Halo 5 that'll be releasing. So hopefully there's some nice hardware or something to match up with that controller or something, to kind of deck out that game and include that into the marketing aspect.
Yeah, Halo 5 is going to be huge. I mean, it should be one of the biggest entertainment releases of the year if we do our job right. And I think, what we've got with, Master Chief and Locke, I mean, it's just it's a dream. It's a marketer's dream. And the game is super innovative. And this is really, I think, a title that 343 has dreamed of making. And they're innovating in ways that, our jaws are dropping. And so, we want to be able to step up and deliver the type of quality products and marketing to match the quality of the game. And so that's the challenge on us. But we have no doubt that the product they're making is going to be, pretty amazing.
Well, that's exciting to hear. I know a lot of fans are going to look forward to Halo 5 when that game drops. I mean,
it's the flagship.
It's the flagship, man. You know how it is. Title. Yeah, it's the flagship title, guys. You gotta love the Chief, man. So.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's such a deep story, and I think about, to me, it's the closest thing to like playing in a real movie, and the fact that, for me, I love campaign. I mean, I play multiplayer and I enjoy it, but like for me, I really just love to get deep into campaign and co-op, when games where it matters. And so Halo is, was kind of the birth of that, and also at the same time has innovated a multiplayer. And so I'm excited with what they're doing with Halo 5, and we'll be revealing more soon.
Awesome.
Well,
again, I'm going to have to reiterate that you guys had a great holiday season, just to let fans know that Xbox is in this fight to win, like Phil said. But again, when things like that happen, you're proud of what you've accomplished and you want to talk about it. But sometimes it can be misconstrued or communicated wrong, like the Xbox One reveal. And that's not to take a shot, but it was a little... it was communicated just a little bit wrong. So, what are the three biggest differences in marketing between when the console was revealed and now? And has gamer feedback and social communications played any role in how you look to market games and release dates?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it kind of just goes back to what I talked about a little bit earlier, which is, hey, launching new hardware is really hard.
Yeah.
And, getting, it's not like we just take Xbox Live and, it just works. Like, we had to rebuild the thing pretty much from scratch for a new platform. And, you think about the UI, and you think about all the games, and you think about all the tools, and you just think about all the technology that goes in. And it's not like, we're just taking the same, it's not like if we're a car manufacturer, we're not just taking the same chassis and redesigning, the colors or the mirrors, or, we are rebuilding from scratch an entirely new product. And, we're using a lot of the insights and knowledge to do that, but it's hard. It takes a lot of work. And so for me, I think the biggest difference is that, now that we've got the product out, we're able to really focus on the content. And, the box, we're really proud of the product and what it delivers and that's built in. But now we really just get to primarily innovate with software and with the service, with Live. And so that's been the big focus. And I think, really being games first in that strategy and being able to focus on that has been, I think great. I think Phil has led a lot of that focus as our head of Xbox. And it's great having, they put, Phil's been running our games business for many years, and
right.
To have him in charge of the entire business, I think is the reflection of that. And he's been a great leader, and people love working with him. And the guy knows games inside and out. And we can sit in a review, and Phil can see stuff that nobody sees. He just has that. He has that talent. He's fantastic, and he generally cares. Absolutely, he's a total class act, and I'm just really lucky. I think someday I'll look back on these years and go, these were like the really, really special years of my career, because we're doing some pretty amazing things right now with a great group of people, and you just don't have that. It's something special. I'm sure. Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan felt like that at some point in time, right? Where they were like, they're winning championships year after year, right? Or Magic and all James Worthy and all those guys, but like those people know they had something special, and it kind of feels like we have this dream.
You guys
team
got
right
that
now.
team, yeah.
We have a dream team.
Yeah.
And you look at Ken Law. That's like you guys. I felt like I was listening to the Yoda video games on your guys' show. It's like he's been around so long. He knows games so well, and you could just tell like nobody loves games more than him.
Right.
And so that's our org is filled with people like that, and so I think the slow and steady approach is our focus, and I feel like we're very clear on what we want to do, and we're not wavering, and we're making investments in building the best games anywhere and building the best platform for gamers, and so I think you'll continue to innovate and continue to bring great games. And we did it this last year. We're going to do it again this year. So we feel like that's the right strategy, and as long as we stay focused on that, I think we'll be all right.
I think gamers just didn't know. They got the platform, and it felt bare bones when we first popped it open. And it's like, and also, I'm going to touch on something in a second, but just to talk about the bare bones thing, it's like you get the platform and you open it up, and you just go from your 360, and you're waiting, you open it up, and you're getting ready to play Xbox One for the first time, and you realize that half the things you had on the 360 are not on the Xbox One. And I think as gamers, we just could not understand how could they release a product that, didn't have all the features on the last product. And the crazy thing about it is, like you said, it was a completely brand new product that's completely different from the Xbox 360. But I don't think we got that. I think we were like, well, how hard is it to put voice messages in? How hard is it to fix the freaking party chat? Like how hard is it? How could it be this difficult? And we didn't get that. And it's good to know that it's because it's a completely different system that needed to be rebuilt from the ground up. And I think it should give gamers a little bit more patience as guys work on the console.
And I think you see, like, we have more engineering resources focused on the platform and on live and on the innovation there than else in the space, and that's why you're seeing so much innovation so fast. But if we take a minute and step back to when we launched Xbox 360, if you remember what the blades look like, think about
loves the blades.
But like when we first launched, there was no marketplace blade. Like we had to add that. So I think we just kind of forget, like, hey, when you first launch a console, like it is about, getting the core platform out there. And I think we did a good job with that. But, then it's like, how fast can you innovate and continue to make it better? And so you build that foundation and you get the core things there. But you can see even in a short period of time, we've added a lot more functionality. And a year from now, expect, same level of innovation.
All right. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think you could be honest if I ask it?
Of course. That's my idea. I will give you my honest answer on everything. Of course, I can't reveal things that are confidential, but other than that,
of course,
it's fair game.
Was the Xbox One launched too early to compete with PlayStation?
I don't think so. I mean, we had to launch head to head with them, and you don't know. We didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what we were doing. So it's not. You assume that they'll do some things, and you get some right and some wrong. But we were pretty focused. I mean, even if the titles we had in development, and whether it was Forza 5 or Rise or any of our launch titles, we felt like we were ready.
So Xbox One was
we were trying to do probably a lot more. If you think about with Kinect and voice and TV integration, and we had perhaps a more ambitious vision,
right.
But with that said, no, no one has ever said that we shouldn't have launched or that we didn't feel like that was the right time and place. What we did say is we said, hey, we're off to a good start. We got a lot more work to do. And so that's really been our focus. And we definitely weren't satisfied, but we never regretted or felt like, we weren't ready.
I think it's just because Xbox fans always, and even myself included, I must admit, I always felt that maybe the console was launched early, and the reason why we got such a bare bones console to start, to compete with the PlayStation 4, to not give them that year head start. And then you look at, the API on the platform and the possibilities of what DX12 may bring to the platform, and we're like, well, maybe it launched early, but it wasn't ready because it didn't have the right API on it, which is DX12. That's the right API. That's what the fans are waiting for. That's what we're thinking is going to make all the games, 60 frames per second. The performance is going to be right on point. We're not really too much engaged about resolution because we know that it's working for CPU purposes. But the point is that this is what is going to make the console what we all really want it to be, to awaken the beast. And but hearing that, no, you guys were ready. No, this was what you guys wanted to launch with is a little surprising, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I stand by that for sure. Yeah, I mean, for us, there was no doubt. And the other thing I'll just remind you is, like, if you look back on history, we launched original Xbox OG. We launched that a year after, PlayStation 2.
Right.
And with Xbox 360, we launched a year ahead. So this is the first time we've ever gone head to head at the same time.
Right.
And so it's just a different dynamic. And so I think, we saw what it was like being a year late. We saw what it was like being a year early. And now, we're in a whole different space. And so I think, you got to be sort of cognizant as well.
Right. Any questions, guys?
No, I was just going to say, I think Xbox was on par as far as the games and things went. I think what kind of set them back was just the mixed marketing. People didn't know what the console really was because it stated one thing at E3 and then 2 weeks later it was something different. And I think that's what really confused everybody.
Yeah, that's what it was. But since then, I think things have been cleaned up quite nicely.
I think
Thankfully.
You know what I think?
Good. That's good to hear as the marketing guy. It's the newer marketing guy, so that's good.
Yeah, no. The Xbox platform has gone through a lot of changes. I mean, we all know. I go to forums, every forum, and I see people, even PlayStation guys, one of the things that they wish is that their console upgraded and updated itself the way the Xbox does, with new features and things like that. And that's what makes the platform, that's a strong point for the platform. I think the thing that's plaguing the platform is the reputation of it being a weak console, and it's not a weak console. Mm-hmm. Most of the games are on par with the competition, and the exclusives so far, to me, in my opinion, have been the best out of the three, and that's my opinion. Nintendo has a great lineup, but I'm a grown man and I don't want to play Mario anymore. So I mean, that's just my opinion on that. But the bottom line is that I believe that Microsoft has the best lineup of games, and the Metacritics, the reviews, and the quality of the titles that you guys have put out have shown that.
Yeah, it backs it up.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, we've seen that as well. And I think, hey, it takes time to get the right tools out. It takes time to allow people to get full power in the box. And, you're right. We've made investments in DX12 that will definitely bring some benefits both on the PC and Xbox side in the future that we're excited about. And I'm sure Phil will talk more about what that means for developers at GDC. Metacritic for sure. I mean, as I look at like our exclusive titles, we had Titanfall as an exclusive, was an 86 Metacritic. We had Dead Rising was a 78. I think
Dead
Forza
Rising was underrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, agree. And launch titles are hard, right? I mean,
they are difficult.
They're hard. They tend to be harder reviewed, but we have a lot of 80s. Sunset was an 81. Halo Master Chief Collection was an 85. Forza Horizon 2 was an 86. So we were, I think our studios team has done a great job putting out high quality games, and I think I would expect that trend to continue this year as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And making holiday, right? You got to make holiday. We want people buy a console. It's holiday time. We don't want them to, we don't want to disappoint them either. So, shipping games on time at high quality is the secret of success in this business. And, unfortunately, knock on wood, we've been pretty good at that. Never going to be 100%, but I think we've been pretty good at it.
Right. Then just before we go to the next and final question, has social media played any role in how you look at the market?
Absolutely. I mean, we listen to the feedback. There's companies, not in our space, I don't think, but there's companies that don't listen, don't care. They just kind of do their own thing, and and don't read Reddit, and in our case add NeoGAF and all the other places to go, right? So
right.
We listen to the feedback, and we even have our own tools where people can obviously provide feedback and vote up items, and so it matters a lot, and we do definitely pay attention. And folks like me, I'm pretty connected, so I read a lot. I really see what is the feedback on stuff. I take time to engage with our fans, and and then I'll take that and share it with my team, or I'll share it with other exec teams in the group, and there's a number of people that are pretty active there. By the way, Phil Spencer, as you could tell, super active in that space, and he's the head of our whole business. So I think that's pretty fortunate. You don't have a lot of top executives and a lot of companies that go on Twitter every day, essentially, and engage with their fans the way that he does. But I think it just shows how much we care. And so I think it does make its way into the product. I think people have seen that. Screenshots wasn't like something that we were like, hey, we really want to do screenshots. It was people kept sending us notes and voting and saying we want screenshots, so we did it, right? Right. And there's probably 50 plus things like that, and we have a list of 50 more that we know people want, and we'll continue to crank at them month by month.
Well, I'm going to put this out there, fans. Please bring back Movie Party. I've been trying to get Movie Party brought back for the longest time. I just want to watch like movies with my friends in a party on Netflix or any media space on the Xbox platform. I think that'd be really, really dope. And I think it'd be really, really awesome socially, being that Xbox is like the social platform. I think it'd be really cool to be able to watch movies with your friends in a party.
Yeah,
again.
I mean, me, B, and Wood, man, we really want to watch Mary Poppins together.
I don't know about Mary Poppins. I don't know about Mary Poppins. Please disregard what he said.
Guilty pleasure movies that you don't want to see the movie theater watching.
No,
right?
but it'd be cool to see something like Lord of the Rings with your friends. I got a friend in Florida I like to see a movie with. I think that'd be really cool if you guys brought that back. I know that was a Netflix thing on 360 and it got wiped out because of AOS change, but I hope that they can figure something out and bring that back.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we love ideas like that. People should vote if a lot of people want. That's how we got to prioritize them, right? We can't do them all at once, and some of them we can't do. But the things we can, we just got to know if it's a priority for people and they vote it up. We'll definitely give more weight to it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So we spoke about the Xbox division's direction in marketing games, the console, but we as gamers are always looking for when the next big title is releasing. I think gamers are some of the most passionate in any media space, and any news or hint riles up the fan base. So without telling us any names or games, what are some of the most important dates that gamers should look out for? What's your most anticipated game coming out in 2015, whether known or unannounced? And knowing what's signed behind the scenes, what are your thoughts on the future of the Xbox One?
Yeah, well, it's a great question, and I appreciate the just tell us the dates approach. It's a good.
We don't have to know the games. Just give us some dates, some months, so we can.
We already can figure out.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
it's interesting.
Thing coming out this year.
Well, hey, my personal philosophy is you want to ship high quality games, you want to ship them on time.
Exactly.
But at the same pace, if you have to trade off time versus quality, you always optimize for quality. And so giving some things more time to make sure that you deliver a high quality game is the right approach. But to answer your question, we're actually going through a lot of those discussions internally right now. We're thinking about a lot of our holiday titles and locking on what is the right date and thinking about the portfolio. And so, we'll share more of that really when we get closer to E3. But it is something we do give a lot of thought to, and we look at the schedules and we look at where projects are kind of coming in, and we try not to launch everything all at the same time, and for a lot of reasons, but for our fans, we know people want great games ideally in September, October, November, and December. And so by December, most games have launched. But, we're looking at holiday and trying to figure out when is the right time to launch things. I don't have any big specific dates I can share at this point, but just that it's going to be massive. I mean, I think Phil has spoken before about, we might have too many good games this holiday, and so how do we think about that? But right now, it's a good problem to have, and we're giving a lot of thought to the portfolio and the timing and how that all works. I'd say stay tuned on more information on dates, but it's going to be a huge holiday for games, that's for sure. Led by Halo 5. I mean, Halo 5 is going to be the megaton for us for sure.
Right. What's your most anticipated game?
Good question. I would say Halo 5, but there's some other projects. God, it's hard to say my favorite. I mean, I'm pretty excited about what Forza's doing with the new release. At the same time, we just played Fable Legends, and oh my God, it was so much fun. So, I'm kind of like looking forward to a few games that are like really, really high on my list. And there's some big third-party titles that I'm not, able to speak to that I think are going to be great as well.
Are they exclusives? You can at least tell us if they're exclusives.
Come on, Greeny.
No, I can't. I apologize. What I can tell you is Tomb Raider is definitely on that list. Tomb Raider is looking fantastic, and the guys at Crystal are doing great work. And I think if you guys read the cover story in Game Informer, give a little look at how Lara Croft is shaping up, and that's another one on my list. I mean, that's the problem. It's so many, you can't pick one. But I think Halo 5 is probably very, very close to the top, if not at the very top for me.
Gotcha. And of course, being that you know what's signed behind the scenes, what is your thoughts on the future of Xbox One?
I think the future is bright. I mean, all the right ingredients are in place, and we're not resting. I mean, we work hard. I mean, we work like it's 1 a.m. in the morning and I'm talking about video games. It's like, we love what we do. And the team works really hard. And I can tell you, going studio by studio and team by team, it's the same level of passion. It's really unmatched. And so, I feel like it's a great opportunity for us. We're still very early in this generation. We're still really just starting to really showcase the power and the graphic fidelity of the platform. We're just really starting to kind of put together and innovate some really cool things with live, and some of the stuff we're doing on the server side, with Azure and the cloud, and innovating that into the way games are designed is very, very cool. I mean, there's just so much opportunity to innovate, and so I'm excited because I've seen a little bit of the future, and then I've seen some of the farther future stuff, which is pretty awesome too. And and it's great. I mean, I think all up the company is doing some really cool things. I thought the Windows 10 event was great.
It was great.
I love what they're doing. Basically letting everyone upgrade for free, and building in what they're doing, bringing all of the great sort of benefits of Xbox and Live to the platform. And then the HoloLens stuff. I mean, holy
we
crap,
are trying our best to get the HoloLens guy on Tick Podcast. What's his name? Alex Kipman?
Alex or Kudo is the...
Kudo?
Yeah.
I've reached out to Kudo. He's ignored me. But still, we have to get
Don't take it the wrong way. No, I tell you, no lie. Like, Kudo, I think gets 1,000 emails a day. So
right.
It's not a personal thing. Like,
no.
It's just, a guy like that manages a huge team.
I can't wait
Alex
to see...
is the same way. They're awesome dudes. And HoloLens is, I mean, it's like multiple years in the future technology that they're delivering today, which is just unbelievable. And so it's been. I just want
to see my first game with it. That's it. I just want to see I just want to play Forza. and literally see like the front windshield in my living room or something like that, or something like the delivery area, and you're designing your car and it's like sitting right in front of you instead of being on the TV, or watching a scary movie and seeing the ghost or the monster in the room with me. How epic is that?
I want to see a grunt. I want to see a grunt in front of me so I can punch it in the face.
No, that would be funny.
Ideas. Yeah, there's tons of innovation. It's a new platform and a whole new way to experience entertainment and to interact I've literally seen people put it on, experience things, and just start crying. I mean, they're just, people are overwhelmed. They can't believe it's real. Oh yeah. Wow. I mean, Moon, where I actually was walking on Mars, and it blew my mind. And then to be in the room, and I'm actually in a see-through visor, I can see through it, but I'm also getting this immersive thing as if I can see, be walking around and point at things and select things as if I was a scientist. I mean, you dream of having that type of experience, but what they're doing with the tech is pretty fantastic. So yeah, it's an exciting time for Microsoft.
Very.
I think gaming has been a big investment for us, and you're going to see a lot of that this year. But it's cool to see what's happening with devices and other innovations as well.
No, definitely. I think Tick Podcast, we love what Microsoft does. Our partners over at Xbox Mad love what Microsoft does. And, you guys have inspired us, really. And because of that, Xbox Mad and Tick Podcast are now going to merge into one, I guess you could say, Microsoft Xbox community website called ICXM. And pretty much we're going to just put our full knowledge, full power, full backing behind supporting the community socially, and trying to get the best news, best information, and bring the best exclusive interviews to our website and support Xbox. Because we feel like, one of the reasons why we started this platform was because we felt that there was a media bias against you. Even if you guys say it wasn't, we know the truth. And we felt like it was wrong that people were ripping you guys for, though some of it may have been justified, they didn't give it a chance. They never gave it a chance.
Well, no, and they weren't asking the right questions either. I don't think.
And I think that we wanted to get out there and try to tell people, look, this isn't exactly what you think it is, because some people were still misinformed, and we just wanted to get out there and talk about it. And I think that has helped us reach out to the fans, reach out socially, and Phil coming on the show has helped us really grow, has opened up so many doors for us, and the future is very bright for Tick, very bright for Xbox Mad, and we hope to continue to build this relationship with Microsoft where we can be really the inner circle for the fans, for you guys, talking to you guys.
Yeah. Voice
be the voice of the fans, but be the inner circle
for the fans, by the
within
fans.
Microsoft.
That's right. That's right. For the fans, by the fans. No, it's totally true. I think what you guys are doing is, it is different, and it is very credible. And I love that you guys are, because so many people spend so much time talking about games, but they're not actually playing the games, or they're not actually experiencing the things. People are so spun up on every little thing, and that's the way, that's just the way that our space works. And, it's I think, on one hand, I love the passion, because, it's like, there's like three, you often say there's like three things that people get more emotional and more passionate about. And it's entertainment, politics, and video games. And and we're one of those three. So it's an honor, and so a lot of other people do a lot of other things, but, and in video games, the passion is, just unbelievable. And so it's great that you guys are taking that passion, but kind of fueling it. I think being, not, we don't, hey, I get we're competitors, we have competitors, but we're really trying to grow an industry here that benefits everybody. And this is not a one person wins at the end thing. This is an opportunity for us we believe gaming as an industry is really important for us and our partners, and we want our competitors to help that ecosystem as well. And so that's the approach that we take. And it's great that you guys have been one, talking about the platform but doing it in an incredible way. And I know the guys at Xbox Mad in the UK seem to be very like-minded and, really focusing on credible stuff that I think that's what people want. And so it's great to hear that you guys are continuing to do that, and getting Phil on the show was a great opportunity. And, he basically told me I had to do this interview with you guys. My pleasure, my pleasure to do it. But, I used to be a spokesperson. I'd rather just do the work rather than talk about it. But, so I don't do much of this, and I'm sure I'll get 1,000 requests to do other interviews. But, it's great to talk to you guys, just to talk about the business and talk about games. And, so it's a pleasure to chat with you guys.
Well, I think, I don't want to call ourselves innovators, but we're one of the first podcasts to get out there and I guess take it to this type of space. And we're proud of that. We're very proud of that. If people reach out to you guys to try to get you on the show, they took inspiration from us. We appreciate that. But at the end of the day, we're doing it not for the publicity or the fame. We're doing it because gamers genuinely want their questions answered, and as gamers we feel the same way, and there's no better person to talk to than the source, the team. So I think that's what we decided to do. It's worked. People love it. We want to continue to do it, and hopefully we will see you at E3 and we can finally meet in person.
I would love to do that. I would love to see you guys at E3. Consider yourselves all invited. Please come. And would love to meet up and talk more about games and Xbox. I mean, that's what we all love. So we have a shared love, and it's great to see you guys kind of focusing on what makes us so exciting. Well, we love this space so much, and we need more positivity in this space, and so it's great to see you guys doing that.
Awesome. Any last words, guys?
Well, Greeny, you did great, man. I know you said you don't like normally doing this kind of thing, but you did awesome, man. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Cool. Yeah. And I wish I could, I'd just say, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more to share. And, I wish I could, reveal more things for you, but I think that we've got some good things that are going to be worth waiting for. That's for sure.
Yeah. Greeny, you came on and you did what you had to do, man. We appreciate it. I just got a question in regards to the YouTube space. Do you think that is something that you guys will utilize a little bit more in the future?
I think, we, YouTube is, we've got a lot of our, we even as you can imagine with the Minecraft acquisition, Minecraft was the second most popular searched item on YouTube for all of last year. And then, a lot of our other properties, have a lot of content on YouTube. And, I actually spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos, believe it or not, and subscribe to a lot of channels. And, I think there's a lot of great content. It's a different, unique way to deliver content. I think you'll see us doing more stuff there. It's gaming is a huge category on YouTube. We've done some things with our policies to allow folks to do more streaming, to use our content, to make money doing that, in many cases. And so we've been at the team and our legal team has been really good about opening that up. And so some people have taken that approach. Other people have taken a more restrictive approach. And we feel like, being more open is the right approach. And I think we'll continue to see more content there.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm just going to throw this out here and just get out of here. I think Quantum Break is going to drop in August. I just want to say that. I think it's going to drop in August. At least by summer, I think you're going to drop something around summertime. And that's just my opinion, obviously. We'll see if that comes true or not. Hopefully it does, and we can get you back on the show, and we can reflect on how true that was.
Yeah. We do not comment on rumor or speculation. That's only going to use it once on you. Right? Yeah. All right. That's all good. Hey, I love you guys are pumped about the games, and Quantum is another great title we're excited about too.
Yeah.
I mean, super innovative title. And so, add it to the list. Another great reason to be an Xbox One owner, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you, Aaron, again for coming on the show to talk with Tick. We really, really appreciate all your support and the retweets on Twitter, man. It's been really, really awesome. And we hope to have you back on later in the year to discuss holiday strategy.
Sounds good. Keep up the good work. I'll be definitely listening, and I do subscribe. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Tick wants to thank everyone who continues to listen to our specials with the Xbox team and hope to continue to be your voice as we reach out to them. The new site will be the ultimate destination for Xbox One gamers as well as Microsoft tech gurus. As they continue to become one ecosystem, it was only right that we try to match that. And you'll be able to find Xbox One game news, console updates, moderated forums, news on DirectX 12, exclusive interviews, talks with indie developers for games on Xbox One, news on Surface tablets, Windows phones, Windows 10, and we'll begin reaching out to bring devs and execs to our forums for Q&As with our fans, along with continued giveaways starting with Batman, Arkham Knight, and Mortal Kombat 10, and once we're open, our Ultimate Xbox One with Connect giveaway. This is our vision, and we hope you'll support us and join up in us when ICXM launches. Thank you all. We're off this planet. Peace.
For the fans, by the fans.